Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. These are going to be the 25-ish books that I have to read in 2025. Here's the thing, the ish, we'll talk about it. The ish is because I picked complete series that I'm only counting as one book because why not do that to myself? I feel like this goal is actually going to be more than 5 books because for Christmas I might get more books, and this goal is basically any books that have been gifted to me that I still have not read are going to be on my must read for 2025. So I'm going to start with these 3. These 3 beautiful editions of these classics came to me on the first day of school from my nieces at school. They're also my students, but they know that I like to read. So I got this from them as like a, hey, happy first day of school. And it is December and I haven't even tried to read them. So we're gonna just force myself to read them. Force myself. Here's the thing. Usually I like classics when I read them. It just takes a lot of brain power to read them, and sometimes it takes a lot of brain power to get me in the mood to want to read them. But when I do, I end up loving them. So we are actually going to, I'm going to tell you in order of like the book that I most want to read to least out of these 3. The one that I'm most excited for is The Arabian Nights by Andrew Lang. I think that this is kind of like fairy tales, but they're going to be super dark and they're from a different culture, right? Man, I wish I knew more, but I did not do my homework, so I'm not even gonna pretend. From Pisa to the borders of China. The Arabian Nights is Middle Eastern and Indian stories. But, I mean, I don't know if you can see how beautiful this edition is. Here, I'll come show you how beautiful this book is. It's like, they're all leather bound, which is so cool. But look at the moon and the castle. This one seems very fairy tale-esque to me, and I love fairy tales. Like, don't get me started. I read the entire Grimm's fairy tale on my channel a few years ago. If I can find the reading vlog of that, I will let you know, or it'll be linked, or the wrap-up where I talk about it, because that was a feat and I enjoyed it. So I think that I'm gonna love this one. It's just gonna take a lot for me to get to it. Along with The Hunchback of Notre Dame by Victor Hugo, I think that this is loosely based on mythology, but again, don't like quote me on it. Is it like Hercules? I don't think so. I honestly don't know anything. Like, but like I said, these are so beautiful. And then this one I'm actually terrified of, but here it is on my list. Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. And yeah, I have 0 idea what this is about. I just know it's a beautiful edition. It's a classic. It's Charles Dickens. But those are the first 3 for gifted books. Then I already got 2 Christmas presents from my younger brother. He just sent them, and I wasn't like, oh, I guess I should have known that they were Christmas presents, but I opened the books. So he sent me 2 books. He sent me Death Becomes Her by Michael Adderley and Cry Wolf by Patricia Briggs. These are both way outside my comfort zone. Cry Wolf is like a fantasy about a wolf pack, and my brother said there are 100 books in this series, so I'm scared. But this is the first book in the series, so that's kind of cool. Again, I don't really know anything about these because they were gifts. And then Death Becomes Her is what you thought you knew about vampires and werewolves is wrong. So very, very wrong. And this one is also number 1 in a series, but I don't know how long this series is. 10 books? No, 12 books. And then there's other series, but I don't know if they're all interconnected or not. And like, I'm not a fantasy reader ever. I never read fantasy, so these, you guys are gonna have to kick me in the butt and remind me to read these. Maybe like not as big of a kick, but maybe kick me a little bit for the classics too. But definitely for the fantasy. Fantasy scares me because I'm afraid that they're gonna describe a world where my brain just can't keep up with it. And I just haven't really ever found a fantasy book that I've liked. I mean, that's not entirely true. There are a couple fantasy or magical realism books that I enjoy, but generally speaking, fantasy is a no-go from me. These ones, this whole stack right here, are all to do with my goals. So, this first one, I've read every Megan Miranda book, I think. Oh, there might be a young adult book that I haven't read yet. But most Megan Miranda books, and like, she's a very comfortable author for me. I enjoy her books enough, but usually they're like 3 or 4 stars. They're not all-time favorites. There's just something comforting in her writing and in her books. But this one might be kind of a cheat because Amanda and I'll also link her channel down below, we're buddy reading this on January 1st. It's the first book that we're like reading in the new year. And that's Daughter of Mine by Megan Miranda. And so I wanted an easy win, okay? I'm not gonna lie to you. Then I have Goal Island by Anna Porter. This one, here's the thing, I never buy new books. I always thrift my books or get them gifted, or Pango. Pango is a good one too, but that's like thrifting. I never buy new books. So when Goal Island came out, by the way, I haven't heard a single thing about this. It was just on the buy one, get one half off back in 2023. And I really wanted a different book. So then I got this one so I could do the buy one, get one half off at Barnes & Noble. I still don't know what this book is about. I think it's some kind of murder mystery. But I've had it on my shelf for going into 2 years. So I need to read it because I bought it new. I can't justify buying new books unless I read them right away. So we're going to finally read it. This one was a thrifted book. This is The Perfect Ruin by Sharona Williams. This is a horror novel, and honestly, a lot of these are just horror novels. I started reading horror books in 2022. Yeah, because it'll be 2 years. This is my second year reading horror novels, and sometimes they're really big wins, and sometimes they're really just not for me. So I'm still exploring the genre as a whole to see what kind of horror novels I like. So in 2025, I want to continue exploring horror novels to see what I like going into the future. Hopefully that makes sense. I think I might have went about that in a long-winded way, just to say that I want to explore horror books some more. So there's The Perfect Ruin. There's If You See Her by Anya Alborn. There's The Rabbit Hutch by Tess Gutney. I've heard amazing things about this one. It's a literary horror. Then The Black Phone by Joe Hill. This I specifically bought for a readathon that I participated in. And guess what? I haven't read it yet. Then there's Within These Walls by Anya Alborn. And The Taker by Alma Katsu. These ones are like thick babies. And then I have 2 books here in this next stack that were sent to me, and I really want to get back to prioritizing books that are sent to me, specifically ones that I ask for. So one I asked for, one was sent unsolicited. So the ones that are sent unsolicited, like, I appreciate them very much, and like, thank you so much. But if I'm not like super interested, then I might not get to them right away. Oh, I hate that because that makes me sound so bad, but it's true. The one that I asked for though is like this beautiful, like, look at those sprayed edges. That's just so nice. 40-Year Kiss by Nicholas Butler. This follows like young love. They Charlie and Vivian got married when they were young. They were married for 4 years, and then they separated and they divorced, and 40 years goes by, and then Charlie is going back to his hometown, which is where Vivian still lives, and maybe they rekindle things. But I love the like already established couple, even if they've been broken up for a while. So I guess I like the second chance romance trope done well, not done poorly. It has to be done well. But I'm very excited for this one. This one comes out. It's a finished copy, but I think this one comes out in March, I believe. Don't quote me on it though. And then the other one that was unsolicited was Never Planned on You by Lindsay Hammeroff. Without a Hitch, Don't Bet on It. I think this is second chance romance as well. A glittering, laugh out loud second chance romance that shows that sometimes true love is something you never planned on. But this can be like more romantic comedy, and this one's gonna be more like lit fic. So you can see that my style is kind of very broad and changes a lot, which makes it hard to be a reader. These 3 are on here because they are Book of the Month books, and I think that only one of them I actually got when I was a Book of the Month member, and through Book of the Month. I think the other 2 I thrifted, but I still would like to read every Book of the Month book that I have. I'm down to only 3, so that's not bad. To see if I want to go back it's a book of the month. I'm not going to lie to you or sugarcoat it. But the one that I got when I was a member was The Lost Story by Meg Schaefer. Mainly because I read the other book by Meg Schaefer. I'm trying to look for it because it should be right up there. But I don't see it right now. Whatever this book is. I read that when it first came out. Oh, The Wishing Game. The Wishing Game. And I really, really enjoyed it. So I've heard that this is like Narnia for adults. I loved Narnia back in the day. So why not? This one I got thrifting, and it's The Intern by Michelle Campbell. Here's the thing. This came out September of 2023, and I got an ARC on NetGalley of it, and I still haven't read it. So I'm thinking if I get to it in 2025, then I can finally put that review up. I also want to low-key work on my NetGalley ratio because I think I'm at like 27%. I have so many books on there that I would like to read and then review. Many of them are already out, but here we are. It's a thriller about the intern. Usually Michelle Campbell writes thrillers. A young Harvard law student falls under the spell of a charismatic judge in this timely and thrilling novel about class, ambition, family, and murder. Okay. And the last one I actually just got a few days ago from Half Price Books. This is Thistlefoot by Gianna Rose Nethercott. This is like a fantasy. This is a children's fantasy adventure, I think, or like a young adult fantasy adventure. She's pretty thick, but I'm excited. It's like The House That Had Chicken Legs and like Howl's Moving Castle. It's like if those two books, which I haven't read either of them, so I don't know. But if they both had a baby, then it'd be Thistlefoot, maybe. We'll see. Okay, then we have this little stack, which is non-fiction books. I definitely want to read more non-fiction than these four, but these four are on my mandatory for sure read of 2025. So here's the thing. I keep saying that I give up on true crime, and then I find a true crime book that sounds really good. So this is a true crime book. This is My Favorite Murder by Karen Kilgariff and Georgia Hardstark. Stay sexy and don't get murdered. The definitive how-to guide. This one I've heard of for a while. I think when it first came out, I heard a lot about it. It's like kind of become a cult classic now. And I just have been looking for it for a couple of years, I feel like. Let's see. 2019. Yeah. So when it first came out, I was like really wanting to read it. And I finally found it. You just have to be patient. So there's that. Then there's Do One Thing Every Morning to Make Your Day. This one is a journal. But I would like to start on January 1st and journal. Do whatever prompt it says for the year. And it sets the 365 prompts and insightful, inspiring quotes here will make your day from the moment you wake up. So this will be like my new wake up routine to get up, do this. I would like to keep exercising every morning, but I don't know, it might work better later in the day. I still have to figure that out. But I do want to get back into journaling and writing, and I also really just want to make some time for myself, because that's something that I'm very, very bad at, especially now that I'm a mom. Then I have Practicing Mindfulness, 75 Essential Meditations to Reduce Stress, Improve Mental Health, and Find Peace in the Everyday. Again, so here's the thing, like these three, the one that I haven't even talked about yet, if they ever come up on a monthly TBR, it's not something that I'm going to just read for that month and then be done. It's something that I'm going to be working on all year. So, I might read chapter 7 because it's Every Breath Counts. I might read that and then, wait a couple weeks, and then I might read Caring for Yourself and just read it. Maybe not necessarily in order, but just whatever speaks to me at the moment. I hope that makes sense. And then the other one is Breathe Mama Breathe, 5-minute mindfulness for busy moms. Because like I said, I'm a busy mom and also need to learn to juggle being a mother, being a teacher, and being having my own time and being my own individual. That sounds so lame when I say it out loud. But yeah, I just need, even if it's just 5 minutes a day, and I can figure it out in those 5 minutes. Okay. Then, so I think ultimately I have 33 books here, probably. We'll see. I'll count at the end. But I want Scorched by Jennifer L. Armentrout on this TBR. Perfect. And they have beautiful sprayed edges, but this is the second in a duology that I haven't started. So that means that I have to read Frigid by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I think these might be steamy new adult romances. No one can replace me in his life. I knew that. I was the friend who knew everything about him and whom he trusted above everyone else. For 21-year-old Sydney, being in love with Kyler isn't anything new. They've been best friends ever since he pushed her down on the playground and she made him eat a mud pie. Somewhere over the years, she fell for him and fell hard. The problem, he's never stayed with a girl for longer than a few nights. And with it began their last year of college. Sydney won't risk that friendship by declaring her feelings. I don't know if this is the same couple or a different one, but I just want to read that. And then I also have Fight for Her by Lauren Green, but this is the second in a trilogy that I haven't started, but I don't have the third book. I don't even know the name of the third book, but there's Fight for It and Fight for Her. If love is a battlefield, he's ready to fight. Love is worth the fight. So there's some kind of fighting. I think that they're boxers and yeah, these two follow different couples, so I'm assuming the third one in the series will follow a different couple. And if I get to the third one, awesome, but because I don't own it, I'm not officially putting it on this TBR. Then Eyes Turn Skyward by Rebecca Yarros. This book number 5 in a 5-part series that starts with Full Measures, and I don't know the entire what order they go in. So there's Full Measures, Hollowed Ground, Beyond What Is Given, Eyes Turn Skyward, and The Reality of Everything. These are a romance series. Each book follows a different couple. And I just really want to know if I like Rebecca Yarros' writing, because the fourth wing was really buzzy, but I don't like fantasy. unless my brother ends up making me read that. But I don't think he's read it, so that's okay too. So this is how many books we have. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I was very chatty, kind of all over the place, but that's my style. So don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to my channel if you're new around here. And hopefully you want to subscribe so that you see if I actually read any of these in 2025. No, that was wrong. You want to subscribe so that you can watch me read all of these books. Like, it's gonna happen. It's going to. Bye.